Hello out there, Mr. Corcoran presenting our IXL lessons of week 23. So last week, week 22, we had these S1, 2, and 7. And today, Monday, we're adding S4 and S8. So S4 is understanding decimals in words, and S8 is graphing decimals on number lines. And these are horizontal number lines. So S4 is this one here. Uh-huh. So students recall how for the past 22 weeks, if a student would say, or someone would say 106, I would gently and emphatically correct them and say it's not 106, it's 106. That's because 3 and 7/10 is what we say anytime there's a decimal or mixed number. So 9 and 5/10. That and is a decimal. 9 is the whole number. 5/10 is written that way. Now the looks like so far they're only asking us about tenths. Hundredths would be the next place value over. So 8.4. Now if I said 8.04, that would not be 8 and 4/10. That would be 8 and 4/100ths. Watch how it corrects me. Yep, so far it looks like they're just giving you tenths. Hundredths is this next place value to the right, and the one after that would be thousandths. So that's the basics there. If they, or students, if that's confusing at all, just feel free to ask me during class sometime, or you can email me too. So 0.9, this is 0 ones, and this is 1 whole. So 0 and 9/10 would be that one. 0 ones, 9/10. 0 ones, and 4/10. So students, those of you who, if you struggled with long division where a lot of things aren't visually seen, this is a nice one to follow up with. Decimals are very visual and friendly ways to represent numbers. So 5/10 would be 0 and 1/10. Sorry, 0/10, 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10. And then just double check 6, 7, 8, 9. And we don't say 10/10, we say 1 whole. Or I guess you could say 10/10. 10/10 is 1 whole. 7/10. So 7/10 is past 5. Sometimes I go to the 1 and I go backwards. 1, 10/10, 9/10, 8/10, 7/10, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1/10, 0. 3/10 is closer to 0. So 0, 1/10, 2. There we go. So those are decimals on a number line. Again, students, if these are really speaking to you, go ahead. You can do any of the decimal numbers from S1. Even you can even go to S11. I'll do a again. This is optional, but we're not going to stick just to decimals. We're going to, part of what's really interesting about this unit, and the reason I embrace math hoops, which we've started briefly, is fractions, decimals, and percents are all interconnected and they're related, so we're going to be working with all three. 3/10 is the same as 0.3. 9/10 is the same as 0.9. Hopefully you predict that. I should get out of the way here. So this is 0.1. And so far there's no hundredths. I wonder if they're going to give us some hundredths. Now there's 93 hundredths is still 0.93 because the 9 is the 9 represents tenths, and that 3 represents hundredths. So 93 hundredths. Ooh, 3 hundredths. A lot of students might think that's 3 hundredths. But if you get into the habit of saying the number, 3 hundredths is this, 3 out of 100, as opposed to this, which was 3 out of 10. So 3 hundredths. Boop. They're not asking you to simplify yet, which is, I think that's actually great. But we will get into a situation where it'll say 50 over 100, and maybe those of you that know numbers would say, oh, 50 out of 100, that's 1 out of 2. That's coming down the line too. So that's the basics of where we are with our math IXL lessons for week 23. Okay, aloha, au revoir.